We're back. Week 10, day 1 of the LPL regular split. We got ourselves a game 3 between LNG and Victory 5. I remembered at that time. I just...
I thought you were going to go to like, blue team and red team.
I said R, and then I heard like NG, and I was like, RNG. It's like, no, it's LNG. Like, it's just like...
To be fair, there's a little bit too many Gs in the LPL.
There's a lot. You got to put that gaming in. You got to put the gaming in. There's a lot of Gs, but overall, LNG, the team playing right now, going to be happy enough with the victory, but they need to make it a 2-1 a lot more convincingly if we're going to make them into playoff contenders.
Yeah, still a lot of mid-game mistakes. However, Asura at the very end of it was able to hold down the fort, even with Flandre and Gragas out of the Flandre and SofM out of the fight, able to close it down. So he does give our gain our MVP today after that game too. 182% damage efficiency. Yeah. I blinked as well. I don't know.
I see. It happens. It's very
I just read the Chinese and I go like, I can't see that. But good performance for him and definitely worthy of the Ezreal pick. We can see that Ezreal has been a mainstay for this team composition for LNG multiple times right now, even though it hasn't been such a high priority pick in the rest of the LPL. And this is where we see Asura carry the game back. SofM looking for a flank, but finds the full team in V5 instead. And Flandre also does fall down. This was very ballsy from the rest of the members. Essentially 5v3 that they're able to claw back. Great snipe from Asura, getting that first Ben 4 kill. And watch what Plex does here. You will not believe it.
Yeah, jumps straight in, but as soon as Asura sees that and just immediately goes, right, I need to be, kind of keeping everyone away, just keeps his distance, keeps throwing out those mystic shots. You can see him just constantly prodding and poking, and it almost ends up being a Y4 highlight reel, if you like, but that was a great devour by the Tam Kench as well. Y4 does eventually goes down, and we saw at the very end the amount of minions that were in that base was a bit scary, and LNG, not the way they would have wanted to win it, but they got to win. They got to do another one. 2-1 is what they need. I still have a lot of questions about this roster.
As do I. But we have to say that LNG, I felt like they finally woke up from their blue side coma and decided to go for red side this time. It worked in game 2. I think there's good reason why they want to swap towards the red side. The blue side priority pick in Karma has not been working out for this team. I don't think they're going to go back to the Karma. Going back to the red side allows Plex to at least get priority in lane, shore up the early game. It makes a lot of sense in this V5 matchup.
And V5, they want to go back to the glory days of 2 games ago. Get back to their setup of like, why can't we do that again? I feel like they thought they could maybe get Mole going on this Zoe again, but didn't anticipate a big counter in the Tristana pick that just gave Plex, like you said, that sustainable, strong early game in laning phase.
Only 1 kill found by Mole early on, even with the flash burned. So that was a really good counter start coming in. And what I see from V5 is that they're going to play a very similar bot side. Both times, LNG has just shown their hand. They're going to go for the Ezreal. It's going to be a slow lane where you can take advantage. And I want to see if they go for something that is more of a scaling carry for Mole, because I think that's a perfect answer. You just play strong bot side. You make sure that top lane is on something that can't lose too hard. And when it comes to the mid to late game, you have Mole on something that's already fed. Maybe that transition will offer them a better answer to what LNG is doing. Because I actually think V5 can take LNG in the team fights.
I agree. I think we saw lots of, flickers of hope within that game that they lost as well. And V5, they know they're not down. They know they're not out. They need to be able to convert it and try and get that second win. As I said, it's do or die for them right now. It's their playoff hopes ride on this game 3. Crunch time for both these teams. LNG looking to complete the mini reverse sweep, get this series 2-1, but V5 looking to keep themselves alive as we jump into pick and ban.
And we do see the Aatrox ban. We were calling for that one as soon as the draft started. V5 again on the blue side. There's a couple questions here. Number 1, what are they going to put Windy on the top side? He's been going 2 games of Karma, but both games that feature him falling pretty heavily early on. So whether that is still a viable champion is a big question mark for them.
And the Aurelia yet to be banned here by V5. And I gotta feel like that maybe they go for it. Maybe they just leave it open. We'll have to wait and see. Nope, they're gonna ban it anyway. That's all picks basically put against Flandre and Plex.
Yeah, no chances being taken right here by V5. For their priority pick in the top lane, Sylas is now open. I'm very surprised to see that one being let go by LNG.
And they prioritize the Zoe over that, and then that's going to be Sylas' first pick locked in for V5.
Very strong laner these days, less seen in the jungle, but against mage matchups, you can now cancel out all magic damage with the first proc of your E.
Olaf and Karma are going to be the response here from LNG. Olaf been seeing himself in the ban with the ban hammer, not so much an undertow axe, and going to find himself eventually getting it. But a good counter to the Olaf is that you cannot cleanse a Cataclysm.
Definitely true, and you can just keep the Berserker locked down in a team fight. Now, this Karma has traditionally been for Flandre in the top side, but like we were talking about, LNG really needs damage coming from Flandre, not necessarily the utility. So I'm a little bit surprised to see them go back to the Karma, despite not taking in Game 1 or Game 2. So there might be some possibility that this Karma might be going for Plex, and they're trying to play a priority mid-jungle that we've seen like RNG do with the Karma and Olaf.
And we see again, third game in a row for Asura, picking up this Ezreal. Going to be a nice little pickup for him. And you imagine a lot of bans will go up against trying to keep Y4 down with this Nautilus pick that was picked up for him.
Ain't broke, don't fix. Keep on it. And LNG are reading the meta as Mole trying to go for early aggression once more. Zoe and the Talia being taken away. I actually wouldn't mind something like the, just like scaling a little bit more. The Corki Azir for me is actually would be fine on Mole's side. Now, Mole did play a bit of those champions back when he was still on BLG. Hasn't shown up recently, but I still think this is a good situation for him to go for.
Yep, Sir Thomas Kench being taken out as well, so we will not be seeing Maestro on that in the support role this time. He's going to have to pick out something new, and we see the Renekton taken away now, away from Windy. And I quite like this. They're obviously citing the early game that V5 had in Game 1, making sure they can't replicate it in Game 3.
Yuumi also been taken away. Hasn't been shown by Maestro, but this is a great poke composition, a great disengage composition for it as well. Let's see the idea behind that one. And wow, some interesting champions being flashed. Morgana was heavily nerfed, but you know, things just come around. What comes around goes around.
I think they're going to leave it for the last pick.
Yeah, now this is a much better Flandre champion.
Can still flex that Karma to the bot side. Vladimir almost certainly going to the mid lane. Or sorry, excuse me, the Vladimir going to the top lane, excuse me. Y4 locks in that Sivir was not banned. Very safe pick as well. And I think we're going late with this one, unfortunately. If
definitely the answer.
These picks to be believed.
I do like V5's thoughts on this matchup. The Neeko is a pretty good counter against the Vladimir as well. Harder to get into those team fights per round.
We'll see now what LNG want to chuck into that support role. Do they use the Karma they locked in as their first rotation? Or they look to try and get something else? Maybe Sona, highly doubtful. Hasn't really been seen since the Sona Taric nerfs.
Yeah.
Alistar could be a good one, as is with the Khan. So good engage, and that's something they're kind of missing right now, is someone to kind of start the team fights for them.
I definitely think Alistar is much more of a Maestro champion compared to the likes of Sona. Haven't seen the Sona after the nerfs, as you mentioned. So taking a look at the matchup, Alistar versus Sivir, also really nice. Very difficult to spell shield that combo going down. Is going to chain up with Olaf quite well. So LNG, even though they don't have the priority in lane, they have plenty of kill threat. And their mid lane should be running a monk as well. And V5 this time around being forced to be the ones that go a little bit later with the scaling rather than just trying to run over LNG in the early game.
So Sylas going to be going up to that top side. Neeko into the mid lane. Neeko going to be basically a like-for-like counter into Plex's Karma. Both can go that spooky ghosts route with the glacial augment, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what the runes are. And so far, I think both sides will be pretty damn happy with what they've received, what they've gotten out of this, and I think that neither is going to be unhappy, and I think we could see ourselves a pretty close Game 3.
Yeah, I have to say this is the best draft out of the series for LNG. I feel like they got everything they wanted. Ezreal, even though it loses priority, it is what LNG has made a stand on. They will definitely die on that Ezreal hill. And they shored up the mid lane priority we've been talking about. Strong carry in the top lane for Flandre. So overall, I really like LNG's chances in this one. I feel like they've gotten something that is very comfortable for them to play. On the other hand, for V5, they're going to be missing some impact coming in from Mole. It's not as easy a lane for him to get out of, and the Olaf versus Jarvan matchup is not a favorable one for Jarvan early on.
Now SofM will have the early game priority. It's all about how he uses it. Had a fantastic game last time round on the Gragas. Olaf finally finds himself onto the Rift rather than the bans. We're going to have to wait and see exactly how either side makes these comps work, as we're going to jump into Game 3, the third and final game of this series between LNG and V5, both fighting for the playoff places. Oh, they're all over the place, Clement. What happened? What happened to my perfect chance?
You're never going to get them anymore.
That's it, they're gone, they're
Just
done.
Get used to it.
Oh, so sad. Too bad, so sad. So we can see LNG.
Well, last hit. No, what?
They couldn't risk it, they didn't know where everybody was.
Oh.
That's a sad time. That's a bad vibe Bears right there.
Surely Plex could have gotten that last hit.
Ooh. I almost got baited.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I almost legitimately got baited, and I was like, wait a minute, this makes absolutely no sense.
Something to note is that you don't lose your camouflage when you're hitting auto-attacking champions in the new patch. And it's not only you, a lot more players are going to get confused as they hop in onto the new patch.
Do you think they're going to... like someone's ever going to do that, where they like put the Neeko bot lane pretending to be Sivir safely farming, and then they actually put the Sivir in mid? Like something random.
For that first cheese kill?
Yeah, for that first cheese kill.
Tangle Barb's cheese kill?
Yeah. You chuck the jungler down bot side, you end up getting like random CC, and everyone's just like, oh, damn.
I would love to see it. You know my favorite lane with the Neeko?
Wow. I think we know who's going to win this lane. That was
very early on.
A lot of respect given to the damage that a level 2 Vladimir can put out.
Yeah, and things not going good from the get-go. I just wanted to finish up my comment. Like, my favorite lane with it has to be the Blitzcrank with the Neeko. Because Blitzcrank means that you have to stand behind the minions, and Neeko means that you want to stand aside the minions. So there's no good positioning in that lane at all.
Oh, we're going to see now Ben 4. Flag and Drag's going to have to wait about 6 or 7 seconds to realistically go for this top lane.
If they actually get this kill, this is insane mind games.
Going to probably force the flash out of Flandre. Just get the troll hole. They're going to go in, knock it up, knock down, and the flash burn. Ben 4 gets out alive, and Windy can just path now back towards his jungler. Will they be able to trade this back? They're trying to put down the ignite, not able to get it. Gets one, gets two. Does he fancy a third? Yes, he does.
Go for it.
Mole going to back away, going to use the Tangle Bar to keep Flandre away as well, but disaster for V5. They could have traded 1 for 1.
Yeah. It was a bit unfortunate. Ben 4 stayed around for the fight, actually went in.
Not quite sure what the thinking on that was. And the amount of times we've seen this in the LPL alone, where a level 3 Olaf just absolutely decimated it, because they do exceptionally well in this fight. Yeah,
Flandre has a bad start to this one. He actually flashes to his death, so not a very well used. And SofM, I actually applaud him for this recognition that he can go for Windy and still have the fighting power left to go for Ben 4 as well. Getting really close on those cooldowns, and it seems like Ben 4 didn't actually get the E off.
Very, very unfortunate, as we see now. 2 kills going over to that Olaf, and if you guys haven't seen an Olaf game where I do believe it's Beishong on Olaf versus Ning, and he gets like 10 kills in the first 14 minutes of the game. It was insane. That's the level that you can get with that snowball, and that's something you got to be very, very afraid of if you're V5.
Definitely possible, and I want to see how Mole can actually find himself out of lane in this game. That's always been the key question for V5. V5 without Mole roaming just doesn't have that much of an early game at all. So paying close attention to that, seeing if they can help with Max. I think if Max is good on the roam and can at least stop SofM from poking his head into the jungle, then maybe they allow Mole some leeway.
That is a 20 CS lead at 5 minutes in topside, though.
Yeah, flash at level 2.
That was not so positive for the Windy Sylas. And Vladimir are going to have a pretty easy time scaling up to that level 9, getting that max Q rank. Ben4 needs to try and find advantages now, needs to have this early game. Because right now, SofM is the one who has got the priority.
And we're seeing V5. Really, this is a good look into their mentality. They're just warding up the entirety of the bottom side, making sure that, well, at least bottom side's not going to get invaded. And for Windy, sorry, but you're on your own.
Oh, Hemoplague does get dropped. No level 6 here for Windy, but the Hemoplague was used. We'll have level 6 very soon, though, so they need to be careful with this dive. And I think SofM making the right decision to just back away.
Ooh. Good trade back from Windy. Doesn't lose that much HP overall. And V5 already picking out the Infernal Drake.
Yep. SofM spending a lot of time up in this top side. Level 6 going to be available very soon. There it is. Windy gets that one. Hemoplague has been dropped. They're going to use Flandre as the first little bit of tanking.
Is he going to get 2?
But he's going to be able to potentially get 2 here. Windy chasing down the Vladimir. Will be able to slow it. One more auto attack. Not able to get it, but dash over in 2, 1. Not able to find it, but a great turnaround. I felt like SofM just didn't need to go for that.
No, he didn't. He just felt like he was losing the Infernal Drake and had to trade something back. But Flandre's positioning told you that he was not expecting that. Look at Flandre as he tried to back out of the fight.
That was unfortunate, to say the least, from LNG, but fantastic if you're V5, because now they're getting their CS back up. They got a couple of kills now onto the Sylas. This is the kind of thing that can shore up that little bit of early game loss.
Ooh, let's just watch this. I think the call might have been to try and force Windy down before he ticked over to level 6. Flandre was tanking the tower, took 2 shirt shots before dealing damage to Windy. And the Olaf couldn't chop him down. Hemoplague comes in. Flandre really lucky to survive with his life.
Yeah, had that blast cone not been there, it would have been a dead Vladimir. Windy coming back into this lane, coming back into this laning phase, is 20 CS down, but has got those 2 kills, so is effectively ahead in terms of gold. And they got the Infernal Drake as well. So V5 finally getting another good early game, and it feels like the story of this series seems to be whoever gets the dragons gets the game.
Does seem like that. Bot lane control super important in this one. For LNG, they do need to think about how they wrestle back that control. That bot side is completely warded up. I think Ben4 is going to go for the same play.
Oh, here we go. Cataclysm, flag and drag out. They're going to flash in to get the tether, though. Flash away by Ben4 as they're going to keep popping it in. They're going to use the Olaf and his Ragnarok to not get stunned underneath that turret. SofM with 3 kills.
Really good damage calculation. Knew you could finish that one up. And good assist from Maestro as well, but SofM.
Oh, good flash from SofM. Respecting Windy, respecting the fact that if he gets caught up there with that abduct, he is most certainly going down.
In V5, they just cannot hang on to Ben4's life this game whatsoever. They do need to push this one in a little bit harder. I feel like the next step for V5 is really just moving Max earlier. Like, Max should be able to leave his lane as long as Y4 is willing to back up a little bit. The Sivir just, pulls a little bit back. They have the river control. Max can kind of set this up for Ben4 to get vision. And they should just try to hard hang on to that side. The rest of the map, if it goes sour, doesn't matter. All you need to do is take this bottom lane tower down before LNG gets a critical mass on that Olaf.
Olaf already finishing up his jungle item. Going to go with the warrior enchantment this time round. Windy now with that Ragnarok. Able to stop out all CC, and you can see there Max doing exactly what you wanted him to do, roaming up, making sure that Ben 4 has potential to be able to kind of go for anything should anything start.
Yeah, this is a stock standard play coming in from their side. And now it's time for LNG to kind of respond to this. They do have Olaf just showing up in the bottom side. That was really interesting for the Olaf to be just straight up wave clearing that one. Of course, no one's going to pick that one up.
Dive is on the cards. Alistar is roaming up, though, to try and defend. They can see now at a minute 30 till that Cloud Drake to decide if E5 go for this. Nautilus gets caught out. It's going to be a 3v3 for the moment. Ezreal is going to make it a 4v3 in favor of LNG. There is the Ragnarok force to be used. Now they go back in on top of this. Cataclysm gets dropped, and the Olaf will potentially go down. No, he won't, as the Karma Shield is just big enough. But a pizza has been delivered by Y4, and now he is shredding with a double kill. Flash forward, get the tangled barbs, excuse me, triple kill for Y4, and V5 open up this early game.
On the Hunt comes in right at the exact moment. Great slice to find SofM as he was retreating, and in a short quarter like that, the Tangled Barbs cannot miss. So LNG, unfortunately, walking into V5 controlled vision, V5 controlled territory, and just miscalculating where the Sivir was coming in on. This seemed like a relatively good fight earlier on, because they could have picked up Ben 4 here, but the damage on Y4 with the red buff, just so much to deal with. Extra slows coming in, and then another great find onto Max.
Yeah, Tanglebard's not only tripping me up, but tripping up the LNG team as well.
That was pretty damn close, but unfortunate for LNG, unable to focus down Ben 4 as they came into that one. Great use of the perfect timing.
And now the ball is very much in V5's court. Cloud Drake has spawned. There is also a potential for the Rift Herald, and I feel like that Rift Herald is definitely the higher priority for both sides. It is a little bit more instant gold, potentially.
I actually quite like this V5 play. Yeah, they're just saying, you know what, the Cloud Drake doesn't really matter to us. I think Sivir's ultimate good enough for the speed up. They're just going to go directly for the Herald and take Windy out of his misery.
Yeah, rotate up the Sivir there. You can see going to be trading the Rift Herald for that Cloud Drake. Stolen Ezreal ultimate going to be tried to use to stop any kind of plates going down. They will lose a couple, but no one really here to defend this top side. Flandre needs to be very, very careful. He could get CC'd up, and you cannot troll pool out of a Cataclysm either. So he's going to back up straight away, and they're going to gift all this gold to Y4.
The bot lane also successfully defended. LNG actually did not hard push for that first brick gold, and SofM just taking down the Cavs.
That's a lot of gold, 2,000 gold in the lead now. You can see the majority of that, actually almost all of it, is now in favor in Y4's pockets. They're going to look for the dive. Max and Ben 4 here. They maybe look to try and get on top of it. There is the Cataclysm goes down as they're going to drop down the Hemoplague as well. Maybe they go for a little bit more. They're just trying to juggle this tower aggro, but there's just too much tankiness on this Alistar. He will take out the Nautilus. They keep him underneath that tower. There's just too many V5 members here, though. Plex, you're just a little too late. And the rest of the team does pick up that turret. They trade 2 for 1.
I'm not sure that was a win for V5 at all.
They picked up the turret.
They did pick up the turret, but the bot lane, they're going to force a teleport just to defend the bot side. And diving in an Alistar like that with so much expended.
They still got the kills, still got the gold. I feel like they're going to be pretty damn happy. Y4 picks himself up some more gold bot side. You can see just how long it takes Alistar to go down.
The start of the fight was pretty interesting. I like the way where Y4 was positioning himself, getting a bit of damage, and then pulling back to drop aggro onto Flandre. But Max goes back in once more and just dies to the tower aggro. So the juggling there was not ideal coming in from V5. They do find the Flandre kill, however. I just feel like that was a bit risky. That was
It was very risky and definitely a hard force.
Yeah, and like you said, at least they defend onto the bot lane tower, so it does come out in their favor.
And we got ourselves a 3,000 gold lead, or just under it for V5. They're kind of shutting down this safety net that the side of LNG kind of tried to set them up for. If that goes late, you have the Vladimir, the Ezreal, the Karma, you can do so much with, but you got to get there first. There's another Infernal going to be spawning in 2.5 minutes. V5 looking to try and convert, and LNG looking to stall.
Yeah, and so far they've been successful on this bot side at least, but the Vision Wars are about to begin. Olaf already setting up a cute trap for any people that might wander around this brush.
This is a 3v3. Teleport is available for Mole as well as it is for Plex to go in, but deleted Asura. There's nowhere to go, and neither does the Alistar. No flash available to him either, and anything you can do, we can do better. He set up the little bit of a trap, and you get trapped yourself.
Yeah, Asura just took everything to the face, so there was no way he was getting out of that one. Hook, line, and sinker. Death Charge goes in, everything
Plex.
with the follow-up.
He has got flash available, going to be able to slow him down there with the Hextech GLP. Good bit of damage thrown down on top of him, and as you say, he's fine, but the pressure's now on that bot side. They're onto that tier 2 in the bot, similar to how they took the top side.
Yeah, so strong wins across the map from V5, and this Sivir is going to be very difficult to deal with. Rapid fire cannon already. This is going to give her a lot more opportunities to just be auto-attacking on those towers. And with how fed she is right now, LNG need to find a kill onto that Sivir. It's almost to the point where you're going to find V5 a lot of times pushing across the river, and LNG almost need to be thinking about flanking wards, get Flandre into the action. He is still up in CS and probably the only stable member on the board right now. Probably the only one with still a bit of advantage over his laning opponent.
45 seconds now till this Infernal Drake spawns. LNG are going to want to try and deny it. V5 will want to start stacking those Drakes. You see they're just trying to get priority into this mid lane. Vision is going to be so key. Teleport is going to be available for Flandre in a very few moments, as will it be for Plex. No teleports available, though, for the side of V5.
They're doing the 5-man stack, so just letting that top lane CS go to waste. However, they are looking for an engage. Not going to happen against the Ezreal.
Have to use the Spooky Ghost, still have the Hextech GLP, a lot of damage down to SofM, and I think immediately that's going to spell the end of this challenge from LNG. I don't really think they can go for anything right now.
And they are spreading LNG across the board. That bot lane wave demands a response. And V5 are going to look to start with just 2 people.
And an Ezreal to boost, just help out with the leash a little bit. They send out everyone towards this mid lane. They're going to try crack this one open as well, as LNG have just kind of given up on this dragon. Ragnarok popped straight away as the Tangle Barb just catches onto SofM, and this V5 team have got themselves 2 Infernal Drakes.
Yikes, that's definitely not a position you want to be in. LNG looking like their Karma plus Olaf early game, really not coming into fruition. No control over this wave whatsoever, and Y4 just shoving, and shoving. Flandre caught.
Flandre has been caught, forced to use the Hemoplague in a defensive move there. Mid lane turret does go down, so that is all the outers taken by V5. They look to try and reset, pick up some items. They got a decent bit of gold in the back pockets, and then maybe look for that Baron in a minute and a half's time.
I just feel like LNG games can become so predictable at times. All you need to do is look at the itemizations from Ezreal, and if his lane's going down, no Iceborne Gauntlet, no Triforce, you probably know that he's in a bad situation. It always feels like a fight against the clock for LNG to keep their scaling up and to keep their opponents in check.
Yeah, looks like that is going to be the Asura going for that Triforce. Very seldom seen. I do think it's okay for him to go in this particular instance, as he has got the Karma for that slow. So should be just concentrating totally on damage.
Yeah, and I just feel like that's the key factor. At this point in the game, if you don't have the ability to close out on V5 members, you're just not going to be able to shut them out. Crowd control probably isn't the problem for them anymore. It's just the damage, the lack of raw threat on LNG at this point.
Yeah, you have to take a tower as well, LNG, so they need to Really trying to change that if they want to try and get some gold into their pockets. Triforce finished up there for Asura, who's had 2 very, very good Ezreal games. This game not so much. He's 30 CS down. 4 kills down as well. It's V5 now pressuring around this mid lane. It's going to try and push up these waves. Baron yet to spawn.
Likely we'll have a quiet couple of minutes.
It's nice.
1 or 2 minutes here.
It's nice to have a quiet couple of minutes in the LPL. Very, very seldom seen.
Very refreshing. All 3 lanes go into V5 at this point, so it's just a matter of when they want to group and start forcing it. But Asura's been doing a really good job at keeping Y4 off balance.
Yeah, going to keep him in check, able to push him back as much as he possibly can. Does land quite a few skill shots onto him. You can see the rotation now coming in from V5, just backing away. They wanted to try and see if they can catch out that Vladimir. Not going to happen as of this moment and time. Right now, we're going to see exactly how V5 transition is good. 4,000 gold lead to a victory, or even if they can.
And this is the vision game finally being set up right here. Asura does have an advantage with his poke range. It should be very difficult for V5 to ever catch him in one of these brushes. And he has significant poke just to keep V5 off. So I do expect V5 to have a lot of a tug-of-war with LNG, where they're constantly winning in the lane priority, but they can't necessarily close down on this Baron pit just yet. However, they are going to try for the flank.
Here we go. We're going to see it straight away. Flag and drag comes in. They're going to be able to take out Asura immediately. Neeko on the top side, but Cataclysm, you have to flash that SofM. As Windy comes in, does miss his abduct, but doesn't really matter at this stage because he just has so much support, so much damage backing him up. V5 going to look for a mole. Not going to be able to find him with the Tangled Barbs. TP out by Plex, but that's going to be Baron.
Yeah, jungler already down from LNG, and that all seemed a little bit too easy for V5. The teleport didn't even need to be used, really, or I should say it did not contribute to the death of Asura. They got the kill regardless.
Here we go. Teleports are coming in. It's going to be 2 people coming in, but here comes the flank from the Neeko, but it's actually not going to be enough as Sivir is down, and there's going to be a lot of damage coming in from Asura as well. He may be able to clean up this fight. The Vladimir trades his life, but will he be enough, or will it all be in vain? Asura gets himself a double kill, maybe even a triple kill. Not quite able to get that one. It is going to be Mole picking up the Alistar off on the backside, but Asura's still going. Asura's still hunting. Going to be able to take out those 4 kills in favor of LNG. Asura with the teleport coming in clutch for the side.
Awkward HP levels for V5. They were down to 3k on the Baron, but then tried to turn around, and the AoE damage coming in just caught them off guard. But first, we all have to start from the Asura kill right here. Actually, the Windy, even though he did use the teleport, it didn't contribute to the catch. Asura falls down anyway, and we thought this was going to be disaster for LNG, like losing 2 members this earlier on. But we forgot how early it was actually still in the game. Asura was able to make it back fully with his revive and just contribute on this fight as well. I want to see, he must have had a teleport to get into the fight so quickly.
Off on the side bush there, you can just see it coming in now on the mid lane. And this is honestly Flandre going with the Hemo Plague, was able to set up so much, and Y4 just tanked up too much of the Baron there.
Yeah, the front line really taking too much of that corrosive damage. Also reduces the NMR, so Flandre had a nuclear bomb of a Hemo Plague. And then you have Asura coming in with the finishing plays.
They do get a turret in the top side, but they will be trading a tier 2 for it. As I say that though, we have a Maestro in the back side looking for a flank. No real vision for the side of V5, but they're going to back away, and so are LNG.
So both teams taking a chill now, getting a reset. V5 can very much wait until that next Baron. Not next Baron.
The first Baron.
The next Mountain Break is still fine for them. Take a look at the items. We have been seeing a large pause in terms of SofM's itemizations. He's been losing a lot of his own camps. I do expect him to go for the, he really needs the GA if he wants to come into these next couple of fights.
But I see the 3 big items for me are going to be on that Sivir. As we see just a pure crit build built out there. You got the rapid fire cannon with the IE and the Essence Reaver, even a Hexbringer just to try and stay alive from the Vladimir and Karma burst. But I like the fact that Sivir is now officially online. This now just looks better and better the longer the team fights go on for V5.
You gotta love a Sivir with that 75% crit in her itemization right now. Not a lot of members on LNG that can take that damage. Not even the Olaf is tanky enough. So she's going to be ripping through the team comp. It really is down to Asura, I feel like, to ward V5 off of Baron.
See now, 3 minutes to that Mountain Drake that you talked about till it spawns. V5 happy enough with just pushing out the waves, picking out some more gold, trying to put pressure on all 3 of the lanes as of right now. They're going with a 1-3-1 as they have got the Neeko on the top side.
Key timings for the team fight upcoming. We have to look at the Spellbinders from Flandre, that 80 extra AP as you go into a team fight. Very influential. And also just the itemization from Asura. Finally getting that third item is going to be big for him to contest. Remember, all they want to do is just drag a team fight out and slowly chunk V5 down as they're doing an objective, and hopefully look for a team wipe that way. They can't necessarily wrestle for position, but they can be a thorn in V5's side where V5 can never safely take that objective.
We're going to see a bit of a split here. There's the On The Hunt pops. They're going to jump onto the Alistar, the tankiest member of LNG, as the fight is just ensuing. There's the Cataclysm onto 3. That's a good knockdown, but Jarvan is the first to fall. Alistar just about stays alive. First kill goes over to White Forest. Here comes the Pop Blossom. Windy and the Vladimir go golden. But there's going to be so much damage there as it gets Sivir. Sivir able to do so much, but Asura is just doing so much more. Triple kill for Asura on this Ezreal. Oh, Quadra kill for Asura and the Baron to LNG.
And that's going to be the turnaround. That was so well played from Asura as he kited back away from the choke, avoided the Cataclysm, avoided Neeko as she came in with the Pop Blossom. And in the end, it really was the difference between trading front lines. You could see Jarvan, even with the Gargoyle Stone Plate, not able to survive longer than Maestro, and the damage on the back end of that was so crucial for him to finish that one up.
I want to see Asura's positioning in this fight. You can see it straight away. He gets caught out by a little bit of slow, and he backs away immediately.
Yeah, really well done by him, and you can see that V5 are trying to focus down Maestro through the withering fire of LNG's entire team. Great job by Flandre to then draw back Y4, push back Mole, keep them away from the Ezreal. The Ezreal is now firing freely from a brush where they have the control ward, and after Y4 unloads all of his damage, he doesn't have enough of it. Oh, what a good find right there. Auto attack straight onto it, find him with the Seeker's, the Scrying Orb right there, and able to clean up that quad.
No flash available for Asura potentially, as we see On The Hunt has been popped, as has the Ragnarok. They're going to try and go straight on top of this as they get the Jarvan bump straight back into the team, and it's been melted. Now you got to try and run away. Good ultimate there from Max, keeps everybody at bay. But Flandre, he is just so big. He is just so much damage now for LNG. And it looks like LNG are turning a corner.
That was Benford going in against the targets and not instantly pressing Gargoyle Stone Plate. And it nearly killed, it actually did kill him, but saved his life for 0.1 seconds. Still way too much damage on that Asura. I want to see what his fourth item is. It should have it completed already. Had the Blade of the Ruined King earlier. And LNG are now in full control of the map. This is their late game scenario now online. Is going to go for the safer options in the Mercurial Scimitar.
And LNG finally coming out, and I gotta feel like it's off the back of Asura, who's just able to do so damn much with this Ezreal pick in all 3 games. Even in the loss, it was still a fantastic pick for him, and proving why he picked it for 3 games in a row. Is just doing so much damage to the side of V5 as they pick up almost all of the outer turrets. In fact, it is all of the outer turrets that remained. Now V5, they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. They need to let Sivir auto-attack, but they need to kill this Ezreal as quick as possible.
Yeah, it's very difficult for V5. They're trying to give Y4 enough space through the Flandre damage and burst incoming, but they don't really have any healing reduction on their side to kind of keep away Flandre. Yeah, Flandre is caught.
Flandre is a little bit caught. Hemoplague has been popped as well as the Pop Blossom as they try to just jump on top of this, but Plex has been caught on the backside of this as well. Cataclysm comes down. That's going to keep everybody within a small little cage to get ricocheted and Boomerang Blade. It's a 1-for-1 support for the jungler. And at the moment, you feel like the Hellfires are still in favor of LNG.
Yeah, it was a 1-for-1 trade there, but V5 still can't chase up, and there's a lot more sustain on Asura's side, actually. With the Blade of the Rune King and the upcoming Mercurial Scimitar, he's going to be able to sustain through this quite well. Just looking at the start of fight, they find Flandre, but I don't think the Ignite was ready in that one, so still a lot of healing going down onto his side. Asura sidesteps away from the ultimate from Nautilus, and this was the highlight moment for V5. This was the point where you felt like, oh my god, they
Plex
might have been able to take it.
Yeah, those ricochets doing damage. Still no healing reduction on anybody. And it looks like it's not going to be coming out from Y4 either. He looks like he's going towards a 3rd or 4th even crit item.
Got to get that 100%. No luck required on his part, but Flandre has really been the problem here. I feel like Asura is just playing standard Ezreal type of play. The question is, you can't ward away Flandre at the same time while having people chase at Asura. So it's this two-pronged attack where V5 have been having a really hard time dealing with. I think their best answer right now is might just be having Ben4 kind of just Cataclysm on the Vladimir and on the Olaf, and just forget about the Asura for now. Just like, you know what, we're just going to focus these two champions down, and we'll go from there.
You see now, dragging that up for another 2 minutes, minute 45 until the Baron. Recall coming in here for Flandre.
Probably
Is he
not
going to
enough
get
time.
out? Not enough time to get out. Flash committed. And they're going to be able to clean him up fairly easily as I say that. Goes down. Windy going to be picking up that kill. Had to commit a lot to it. Victory 5, they pick up the pick, and then they can look for the rest of the lanes.
Yeah, this gives them full control over the Baron pit. They will have a lot of time to set that one up. LNG are here presently, but they can't hold on to it. That's the problem for them. So I like what V5 are doing. Instant shove, and there should be a hard left turn after this.
Oh, actually, they don't even need to go for the Baron control vision. They can just go for an inhibitor because the rest of LNG hadn't gone back. Asura gets hit by the dredge line, but it backs away immediately. And that's going to be a huge, huge advantage now. They may look for the end.
Wow, 20 more seconds, but LNG are still very strong in this position. I don't think they can finish.
Not quite sure what the teleport was there. 40 seconds until that Baron, so not really able to transition immediately into that. They're going to try and pick up some vision.
So dangerous for V5 because if they stay here, they're in a lot of flanking wards, and they know it themselves.
So careful. They're just trying to clear out as much as they possibly can. You can see Mole taking out pink wards, taking out as many. There's still that one beside the Wolf camp that could potentially be huge for the side of LNG as they finally have a full 5-man complement onto the Rift.
Yeah, so V5 go for the inhibitor and the full reset, but LNG are still going to be able to hold back on to this Baron. And right now, with their with how strong they are, I think they should be willing to bait.
Tricky little pink ward just in the back of the Baron pit, right at the entrance of it, hidden behind in the corner. So they know right now that LNG are not doing it. They've got time to send people back, pick up some items. Sivir going to be looking towards that last crit item as well, as now they know LNG are going towards that Baron and have potentially started it. Yes, they know it's been started.
Yeah, LNG have enough damage to rush this run down so fast. Maestro, can he find the knockup on?
Here we go. Cataclysm has been hit. There's the Pop Blossom. Flash in, flash out. Everyone goes in, but the ricochets are going to be keep hitting. Ricochets are going to keep going. It's going to be Maestro going down first. 1 for none. Baron still alive.
Really close one right there. If Maestro found the knockback onto Ben4, that could have canceled out things, but I believe he canceled out with the Cataclysm. You're unstoppable during that jump, and he's able to lock members down. So really well played by Ben4, and he's going to try for the Baron now.
Here we go. TP's coming in. They're going to try and contest for this. Asura just drops down the ultimate, is eaten up by Y4 as they look for more. The Baron down to half HP. It's going to be a smite fight if I've ever seen one here, as they're going to try and keep it away. There's SofM, but he's dead. SofM has fallen. Now it's down to Asura, but it's going to be Y4 jumping onto him. Baron can secure a double kill for Y4. He's got teleport. He's going to go for the end. Gonna keep going on top of this. He's going for it. You can see it. The white 4, we need to go towards him as this is a bit of an extra fight. Ben forces keep away for Flandre. He's gonna be able to keep him alive, keep him safe. This is actually so close. Plex, everyone's just playing keep away. It's gonna be white 4 going for the end. They're gonna do it. Nexus turrets will fall. No one there to take him down. Now they finally got Plex. They're going to look for him now, flash in. They're going to try and go for this, but they've got so much damage, so much crits! Crit, crit, boom! And he's going to keep going. Will Y4 get enough time? I do not think so. He needs to go for the Nexus right now. He needs to go for the turrets at least. Oh, try and turn this on the Flandre. Spell Shield was used fantastically as Mo goes down. They get the Cataclysm in, but there is the Alistar jumping on top of it. The Olaf's going to be able to do enough. No! Not able to try and keep him down. It's going to be so close, but LNG survived. Just barely. It's
going to be a reverse cleanup from LNG. Look at all the death timers. Closest is Windy. He's going to be the only one left to hold this one. So Asura is going to pick up, not even going to pick up the tower here.
Can't risk it. They cannot risk it. They've lost so much in their base. They know they don't know the teleport timings for the likes of Windy and Mole and V5. It was a great call, but a little scrappy.
Yeah, that one was so close down to the wire. So many people almost dying in this one, and it was a good start for them, picking off Olaf just with the burst damage. And when Asura went down, I was like, oh, maybe this is just going to be a clean ace here. But Flandre is able to find the rest of the members. In fact, the rest of the members were kind of trying to stop Flandre, actually, from getting there.
Ben4 survives so damn long. Like, he literally goes back into the Nexus.
But that was a very key kill onto Plex, allowing him to get back, and Mold doesn't find him in the brush. He goes for it, but can't venture in just yet, so Plex is able to stave off Y4 for a while, flashes in. But
so much damage, crit,
Woo.
Boomerang. And it's almost a Y4 cleanup from here. As he's just getting ricochets after ricochets, but so close to ending this game. As you can see there, Flandre just able to put in so much. There's the Cataclysm that pretty much seals the fate of almost everybody else. It was almost an ace on the backside for both sides, as SofM is able to take down the Sivir. But Nexus turret, only one remains. Mid lane inhibitor is still down. It will be respawning very soon. We're going to see now what Y4 can do with this Sivir. At full items, has the GA now as well.
Wow. Look at that damage in the last team fight. 10k damage in the last team fight. He takes down 2 solo laners basically by himself in that one. Pretty insane stuff from a late game Sivir.
Windy still needs to give respect to this full item build. Asura, Ezreal. Looks like they're going to look for that mid lane turret. You can see the crits just ricocheting across. Asura takes one ricochet and he's already taking a huge chunk out of him. One boomerang blade or even one auto attack would just be almost certain doom for the side of LNG.
Yeah, Asura needs to kite back when he starts taking damage. He does have the sustain to live through this fight. And I also like the build that he's going for. He's actually going to go for the Dust Blade here. So that extra pop of burst damage when he comes back into vision, a lot of times does make the difference in these poke wars.
Yeah, can also help against flank wards within the base if you do get that popped as well. Small little things there, as we see the death cap finished up for Flandre as well. Almost full items across the boards. Literally only things left to be completed are the slots that you use to keep your control wards. I'm quite liking exactly how this game is going on. It's such a close game. Both teams realize that their playoff hopes pretty much both live and die off of this one series.
This is the last one. This was the one for all the marbles. Morella Namicon done on Neeko, so Flandre's not going to be having such an easy time against these fights. He's going to be very hard pressed to find the same amount of impact in the back line.
Has got the death cap on the Spellbinder, like you alluded to earlier, is full builds. So you're looking at 2 full item builds versus 2 full item builds. It's going to be very interesting. I feel like both sides are going to wait until this Baron spawns in just over a minute. Can they do it, Clement?
Ooh, that's such a tough question.
V5 drag LNG down?
I feel like it really depends on the way these teams kind of engage on it. LNG, the way they want to play it is just Asura drawing all the attention, getting some poke down, and Flandre finding himself on top of Sivir. That's going to be the most crucial thing here. And I don't think he's going to be able to do it just walking straight forward. So in these like front-to-back team fights, V5 should be okay in pushing the tempo a little bit.
It looks like they're taking your advice. Spooky Ghost popped out. Mole is up to the top left. No dredge line to be hit there. Asura has got the arcane shift, so he's going to be feeling fairly confident now. The inhibitor takes one auto attack from Sivir, chunk out of it, so they cannot let that happen another time, otherwise I feel like it's going to be V5 opening up another inhibitor in this game.
Yeah, and Y4 does need to be focused down super hard, so I think once Flandre goes, whoa!
Here we go, the Hemo Plate that was stolen was committed as well as the Cataclysm, but here's the Pop Blossom going to jump onto the back line, and the Dredge Line lands into Asura as well. He's completely out of this fight, but it is the Nautilus that's first to fall. It's going to be this Neeko as well. Vladimir is eventually going down, and Sivir is still alive, but so is the Ezreal.
Oh,
as Asura goes in, he dodges left, right, gets himself another kill. He swaps over the other side! Almost gets it! Quite literally so damn close. It's 1v2, but you gotta give Y4 the advantage.
Yeah, Y4 still with the sustain here. He's not going to be able to, those two from LNG are not going to be able to find Y4's life here. So the best they can do is just wave clear, stay safe. That was such a clutch move from Windy. The last tick of damage taking down Asura there was so critical, or else it would have been Baron over to LNG.
Oh, this game is on a knife's edge. Let's see how this one started.
I was actually quite surprised that LNG were the ones to start this one themselves. They must have dodged out on the Mole Pop Blossom very, very well for that to go into their favor. Maestro actually takes a front, but Asura should be able to out-damage these composition at the start of it. Oh, they don't actually find the full damage onto Asura. Asura, great cleanse away from the situation. And this is where the highlight plays really begins. Windy down to a sliver of health. The fact that he doesn't die here is so critical. Wow, a great Kingslayer.
Oh.
So much HP. And the second proc of Q is what takes away Asura.
Yeah, but now it looks like it could potentially be an Elder Drake taken, and then see LNG just scrambling towards that Baron. They need to be able to trade this one out. 4-stack Elder Drake for the Baron, but then 4 is here. The steal is available. They're going to jump in.
V5 can't lose members here.
They can't lose anybody. They're going to back away, almost taking exactly the exact same times. Elder Drake and Baron traded. I don't know really who comes out on top of this one.
I feel like I actually like V5 here because they have an open inhibitor, so it forces a straight 5v5 team fight in front of the towers here. They're playing keep away, but all they need to be aware of is the turnaround.
Yeah, here we go. Windy's going to find them there. Now the next Nexus turret, I think they've done enough delaying. They've got Neeko, they've got Sivir, and it's going to be Victory 5, finding the elusive victory. Fantastic call from them.
Wow, that was a great force away from V5. It was a very risky maneuver because if LNG found the early turn, they would have had the Baron buff to then instantly go back and defend. So you have to play that on a knife's edge. You have to harass them, but not allow them to fully disengage, fully turn and just kind of go back to defend. They played both sides perfectly and finally found a win. Massive hurrah for V5, keeping their playoffs hope alive, keeping LGD's playoffs hope alive, and throwing a lot of questions down in Chongqing.
Take a bow, Victory 5. They finally find the rhythm. They find the victory in Game 3 that keeps them alive. Tripping over himself. He doesn't believe it.
He's elastic. He's ecstatic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like elastic. I was like, oh, I suppose he is bouncy.
Wrong vocabulary right there. But V5 finally finding a win on that one. That was very well played. It was a really dangerous way to play it. I felt like they were just going to go for a straight Elder and then force 5v5 team fight.
So did I, but they had the option, and you can see just how much of a roller coaster of this game it was. LNG had potential in the early game. Mid-game went to Victory
Asura
5.
with the triple.
Just, yeah, Asura with the triple.
But double actually, sorry.
And Windy just able to do so. If Windy doesn't kill Asura there, that game's over.
Yes.
They can literally chase down the Sivir and go for it because they have the confidence, they have the damage. And V5, they did it. They got the Victory 5. the 5th victory.
And that one was a very tough fought one. I felt like it was, I wouldn't say V5 necessarily overcame their weaknesses, but they have definitely shored up their later game team fights. That's
completely
for sure.
agree. But LNG, it's not looking good, Clement. You're 6 and 7. You've let a team come up to 5 and 8. It's very close towards the top side, and LNG, if any team is going to drop, I gotta say, like, they're the one team that I'm feeling just hasn't got it in them.
They might not, and it looks like previous correction we said that they were going up against OMG, but it actually is Vici Gaming that they have to go up against, and then Suning later on. So both are must-wins at this point, and even if they get both, they're still looking at maybe 8 wins.
Yeah.
And 8 wins is not enough to guarantee your path into playoffs.
We'll have to wait and see how that path looks. We are going to throw it to a break, and when we return, we will bring you our second series of the day. Suning versus OMG. I didn't expect it, crap.
Gotta take control. Start listening to my soul. Overlooking back. Where's the point in that? And it feels good, so good. Coming back again. Rising up, above. Fear and its pain. Letting go of memories. Knowing they can't define me. Rising up, above. Feels good. Starting to believe what will be, will be. Overlooking back. Where's the point in that? And it feels good, so good. Coming back again. Rising up, above. Fear and its pain. Letting go of memories. Knowing they can't define me. Rising up, above. Feels good. It feels good. It feels good. Feels good. It feels so good. And it feels good, so good. Coming back again. Rising up, above. Fear and its pain. Letting go of memories. Knowing they can't define me. Rising up, above. Feels good. No point in fighting. It's hard pretending. Wake up. It's time to leave. I took the time to breathe, and now I see I'm just too good for you. You're no good for me, and I know what I need. So I'll set you free.
Beautiful lights, beautiful scenery, beautiful architecture, as you said last time. We are back for our second series of the day. We're going to be going straight away into Game 1. I am BP, this is Clement, of course, joining me again. We're going to jump in straight away. We're going to get the picks and bans straight up for you right there for OMG versus Suning. Nothing too surprising. I quite like the TF, though.
Yeah, that's definitely an Angel special, if you could call it. He's been playing the ADTF, and it's been all the Storm in LCS, and it's finally found some flavor in the LPL as well. As for the rest of the composition, we do see a Pyke coming in, so that's an interesting one. Haven't seen Pyke a lot since the recent nerfs. Did, of course, hit most of his solo lane potential, but actually I'm kind of surprised that we don't see more of it, because the Pyke snowball potential is so high.
I was going to say, you have the cut available as well, and we're going to jump straight onto the Rift as we try and just slowly catch up to this series that has started up in OMG versus Suning Gaming. There is no rest for the Wicked. The Wicked? I didn't even say the Wicked correctly. There's no chance either, actually.
Oh, this is a peculiar cheese from Suning. We don't see this one much.
There they are. And there's the LGD, who of course are still within the playoff race mathematically after LNG did fall to Victory 5. Suning looking to find themselves nicely up in that top side. Spellbook for the Twist of Fate in this mid lane. I quite like that, actually.
No, typically we do see the Kleptomancy being selected, but the Spellbook here does allow you for a little bit more flexibility with the summoners. Let's see what's used here.
I remember when they first announced the new Ruins, and they announced Unsealed Spellbook, and everyone was like, that's going to be so broken. And to it was for an extended period of time, but I like how they kind of, it kind of like fell by the wayside because people just didn't know how to use it. In solo queue, most specifically.
Yeah.
Gotta have a lot of timers. We see now Worlds gonna find Weiwei. He's on a ward right now. There's the smite going down as well. Flag and drag not going to hit anything, but he will steal the camp. But I don't know if I like this from World. Not really going to pick up. Yeah, not going to pick up too much. And Weiwei doesn't actually get anything from that camp because Twist of Fate just pick it up. And they can just go straight onto the Raptors here because they have priority over this top side.
OMG did go for a very, very strong early invade, dropping 3 wards in the jungle to start this one off. I'm a little bit sad for Suning that they didn't actually get that counter cheese down. That's usually very interesting to see that level 1.
Oh, Flag and Drag misses again, but red buff versus blue buff, you gotta feel like the red buff wins out on these little skirmishes. Angel trying to give some kind of support as Icon does roll over. Weiwei will eventually be able to take his Raptors.
Yeah, significantly out-traded there on the fight, and now we actually see Weiwei ahead in terms of the camps being taken, and World 6 still staying around for a very long time.
He's waiting for the scuttle to spawn.
Oh.
To spawn at 3 minutes 15 seconds, so I think he was just kind of thinking, I'll take this before I go back to try and take anything else in my camp.
True, true. He's going to go back again.
Still searching. Still looking for more. And I actually quite like this little play that we saw from Weiwei. He's actually gone to take the Krugs, one of the highest XP camps in the topside jungle, before he takes the red buff. Not really bothered about losing it, I don't think. But overall, OMG going to be able to get that early game advantage.
This is a really interesting style from OMG here. I like how planned and orchestrated this is from them. Just starting from the level 1 and pressuring both sides on Weiwei's jungle, making it really difficult for him to find a clean gank anywhere on the map. And for Suning, that has kind of been the ignition for them. Weiwei recently has been having a very good stretch of games. Suning with with Angel overall has been 6-2 in the standings, really shooting up the ladder, and they have a good chance of even contesting that 3rd place spot in the LPL playoffs.
Still need to win this particular series, of course. No game is easy, as much as I might say that on paper. And Weiwei going to get revenge. You may get the red buffs, but I shall get the blues, and we shall shake hands and never talk about it again.
Yeah, it looks like a full 2-camp steal away from him, and he's going to find himself with a slight CS lead after this one.
Only barely. We'll be able to take the Wolves, I imagine, as well, if he fancies it. But it looks like it may be looking for that top side. And the minion wave is pushing in. Maple needs to push that one up a little bit quicker, you feel. There it is. Does he want to go for it? No Infernal Chains available, but I think they're just going to play it safe.
Yeah, he does need Curse to be a little lower than that to really start that gank, but he could find some damage right here.
Oh, Curse. Takes a body slam and a barrel, but does get himself a pink ward for his trouble as well. Weiwei going to back away, look for something somewhere else.
It looks like a straight gank onto the bottom side of the map. It has 2 camps to pick up. And talking about Pyke in the meta a little bit more, now if Pyke doesn't find the kill during the death from below, he actually gets 2 stacks of your cut, which is pretty insane, and we've seen Reddit posts complaining about it, but hasn't actually shown up that much in the LPL so far.
To get heavily nerfed, as we said, doesn't actually do damage to minions with his dash and stuns, so his wave clear not as potent as it used to be. We see, feels like OMG and Suning just trading each other's jungles.
Yeah, definitely the case here, and I feel like this actually, just with the pathing, does favor OMG a little bit more. They're the ones with the pushing lanes here.
And overall, a very slow start to this particular game. Kane and Five going to have a lot of kill pressure with this Pyke and Lucian combo. The Ezreal and the Tamken is definitely not known as for its kill orientation. Let's see what they want to do from here. Looks like Ezreal just wants to go back. Has got the TP to return to the lane. Sword Art just going to keep SMLZ alive in this one. There is the blue buff. They have a pink ward on it. I'm going to try and rotate onto it. There's the Predator. Smite not available, but the barrel is. Weiwei claims his own blue buff.
A good move there. It takes away a lot of time from both the jungler and Icon. So now is the time where we start seeing the defend of Twisted Fate. A lot of teams ward up both sides of this lane just to make sure Weiwei can't find a gank anywhere. And we have been seeing that Suning a lot of times. They will just have Weiwei hold on to the mid lane and say, Angel, it's your time to play the jungler, your time to roam. Always need to be very careful of that one.
Icon trying his best to push out this wave. It's about a 10 CS lead if you swap him and Neeko around. And actually the Aatrox having a much better time against the Neeko in this particular lane.
You know, usually the observers do the swap in Suning games where they pull Maple towards the top side and have Angel in the lane that he's currently playing. But this time the OB seemed to be a little bit slow on that transition.
They don't want to do it just yet. Doesn't make a difference, says them.
It's easier to read the CS score, please.
Makes it look better for the side of Suning. Looks like they're not too far behind. As we see Devour used there onto SMLZ as he got hit by the hook shot. And now Weiwei potentially has priority on this dragon if he so chooses to use it. They have got the Destiny as well, so Angel looking for maybe any kind of overextension from OMG to capitalize upon. Turn a 2v2 into a 3v2 very quickly.
A very good ward by Icon, even though he didn't have the full wave push. He does spot Angel roaming towards the river. Suning are still going to try and force this. They do have a lot of extra time, but World 6 does have the flash, should be trying this.
Here we go, jumps in, Samite secured, flashed, not needed, just going to use the flag and drag. Now Icon might be in a little bit of trouble. Not quite able to capitalize on that from the side of Suning as they're just trying to find an exit strategy now. Flash has been burned. Gold card used there onto Icon. There is the flag and drag jumping in. Double knockup as SMLZ is looking to try and get this one. They're going to be able to get the damage down, but will they be able to secure any kills? The answer is going to be no. Suning eventually find their exit strategy as Curse comes in just to make sure they're kept them honest.
Smallest of wins from Suning. They dodge out on so many skill shots, but lose a ton of summoners for it as well. Just taking a look at this, OMG actually expended all of their summoners in the bot side too. So we can expect both teams really looking at that juicy bot lane and going, you know what? It's time for a party here.
Still have the teleport available for Maple as well as the Destiny for Angels. So a lot of potential for them to go for this. But Infernal Drake secured. Second one going to be following as well as Curse. It's a little bit behind enemy lines. Luckily for him, Maple is nowhere near this top side. Could have been a small little collapse had he been, but we'll take the red buff, we'll take himself a small Krug and back himself away.
Weiwei says, thanks for the assist. And they're just going to go back to their allotted lanes at this point. A couple things we need to be pay a lot of attention to are these back wards coming in, potentially coming in from Sword Art. If you can find one in the back brush. Maple coming in would be a very good gank.
Great thing about a Destiny, though, is you don't need wards. You just need them to overextend and find yourself a small window of opportunity in the fog of war. Let's see now what the side of Sunning wants to do. Very slow game in terms of kills. A lot of posturing, a lot of positioning, but no one really going down. Only real objective being taken was that Infernal, as the gold is almost dead even.
Yeah, no, I'm actually pretty surprised that Curse is so evenly matched with Maple on the top side. Now, typically, Maple does not go to the top side. He is the original mid laner here, but after Angel joined the roster, they found a lot of flexibility in swapping into other lanes. And congratulations on Maple for holding his own against Curse so well.
Not having a bad time at all. We can see SMLZ wants to try and push out this wave, uses the last little bit of mana that he can. 5 needs to be careful though, there's a lot of damage. The grey health won't be available for him for a few seconds. There is the Gragas just posturing around.
Thank you, Icon.
Is balanced and fair. Free little redemption thrown down to the bot side.
Bit of a feels bad moment.
It's a big feels bad moment. That kind of stuff should only be available when there is a redemption in the game.
Yeah, and we're looking at this auto attack Angel build here. Really fun. He actually goes for the Phage first and just starts wailing on Icon in the mid lane.
Oh, and actually, World 6 needs to be very careful. Angel's the first one who rotates up. They've also got the Tam Kench in tow as well. TP is not available for SMLZ as of yet. Angel gonna get caught out by the Trouble Bubble. Woo! Max range was not enough to catch out the sleeping Twisted Fate, and it looks like the Rift Herald shall go over to the side of OMG.
Yeah, good sneak coming in from OMG. Of course, the Gragas was spotted earlier in the bot lane when they tried to go for that gank. And I love how aggressive World 6 has really been playing this game. Typically, the jungler has been the big question mark for OMG's team composition over the years. We've talked about the rotating door of junglers, going through 7 of them in the last 2 years. And now OMG found themselves in a great position. There's no dragon in the bot side, so no reason for your bot lane duo to be there. Full swap into the top. They're going to continue their advantage with the Lucian over the Ezreal.
Again, still no kills. 13 minutes into this game. Very, very slow one from both sides, both being very respectful of each other. Twisted Fate and Zoe, it's going to be a farm lane and see where they can influence other lanes. That's kind of the deal, unfortunately, for this mid lane.
And overall, I do want to say that OMG has been doing a really good job in controlling Angel. Look at all the wards in all the possible places where you could find a Twisted Fate. Both sides of the river are control warded. The brush behind the red is also warded. There's very little space for Angel to go anywhere near the bot lane of OMG.
Kane stops his back, has got himself a Blade of the Ruined King. He's sitting on a little bit of gold, but nothing major. Maple, again, we're just going to have a big old farming game. It's like Farmville.
Are you not excited? Are you not entertained?
You may not like it, but this is peak League of Legends in terms of Koreans. But it's funny, actually. I've noticed in recent days that actually, I like that little clarity swap up. Picked up the extra mana from the spell book. I've actually never seen that.
Might as well.
Might as well is exactly what I was thinking, but I've noticed a little bit. LPL is kind of slowly going towards that slower game, whereas LCK is going into a lot faster games.
Oh yeah, you gotta get in the league with the damn longs, man.
We see top lane being pressured as being swapped out. Curse going to take a huge chunk off of him. Maple looking to just fight him away. That's going to be Infernal traded back. Mountain going to be the next one to spawn. But while that was all happening, Lucian was the only one left on the top side, so that top turret almost certainly going to go down very, very soon as Kane has now left it. Does spawn the Rift Herald, though, from OMG into the mid lane. It looks like they're going to try and trade 2 turrets for 1. That Rift Herald will be able to pick up not just 1, but 2 if they are able to get the second charge off.
Yeah, this is a much better trade for OMG's side. They pick up 2 objectives, like you were mentioning, Infernal Drake. And the way Suning is answering this is actually quite interesting as well. They're just saying, you know what, we've lost this. Ezreal, keep on pushing that top lane wave. And they're going to lose the bot lane too. So 3 for 1 for a little bit more farm on Ezreal. Do keep this one down, but I don't think it's going to stay there for long with how much control OMG has over the blue side.
Definitely a little bit of a misstep there from Suning, who are obviously looking towards that end of season playoffs. Have yet to secure their space, but should be relatively safe to secure it once this game goes down, if it goes down in their favor. I think they need one more win, or I think they need someone in 9th to lose, and then I think they're literally in. So, given how the games are set up.
Yeah, currently RNG is locked into playoffs with 9 wins, so that's the one everyone is looking at, the magic numbers. But for Suning, 7 is pretty good, because last split in spring, they only found 6. 6 with Longxing.
Already got themselves a positive. I like those stories, I like those narratives.
And in spring split, everyone was ranking them very high within the top 4 of the teams. Of course, they didn't actually manage to even get into playoffs. They were called the super team, the Galactic Armada, as the LPL fans would like to mention it, getting great players from all corners of the universe and putting them on the same ship. Unfortunately, the top lane and bot lane never really worked out in unison for them. And now Suning with Biu and Weiwei and Angel, names that are far less prominent than Longxing, actually able to etch out a far more focused team.
And a far slower team as well.
Also true.
Just want to put that out there. One of the slowest average game times of any team, and this is honestly could be record for longest first blood.
It definitely could. I don't think I've casted a game at 17 minutes and no kills.
It's where you get your LCK training right here now, Clement. It's how they train you. You have absolutely nothing happen.
Can we have some shots of like the LOL park on like a side-by-side screen? So
I'll just start calling Aatrox Aatrox.
Oh, but finally we're gonna have a move here.
Kane flashes away. No real connection there with anything. Good respect to the summoners there. As it looks like top lane is going to go down. That's the second outer turret going down as the side of Suning looks to try and capitalize towards the mid lane. TP is coming in. Maybe we see the first blood from here. Suning looking on full disengage curse. Just try to get in. That's a good explosive cast, but Swordouts going to be dragged back by the infernal chains. He flashes. He goes golden. As the World did drop into this one as well. First blood goes over to the Aatrox as the rest of OMG is trying to chase this one out. They've got themselves the inside track. Flash, hook, looking for a curse, looking to try and keep this going with the World Ender. Finally loses it as Weiwei just keeping his distance, keeping himself safe. Pop Blossom gonna actually do very, very little. As I say that, Flash is burned. There's the Cataclysm, but it's gonna be the Pike that's the one that falls down. As World does fall down as well. It's a 3 for 2, 4 for 2. Angel by himself gonna use the unsealed spellbook to heal himself and try get away. Should be able to find himself out. And honestly, not a great flight from Suning. Got themselves caught, overforced something, flashing over the side as well. TPing to boot. No one going to find him. And eventually he does get out, but 4 for 2 in favor of OMG. They come out trumps.
A lot used right there, and it mainly came from Suning trying to equalize the objective play in the top side. They didn't find the kill onto Kane. He was still there with the culling, able to wave clear, and then a great teleport in from Curse really stops this entire play. That pick not working out for Suning meant so much in this ensuing action. SMLZ is able to get out, but not away from Five's skewer right here. And they find the kill, the potential reset. Suning has to back away. They're getting cornered by a great positioning from Icon, forcing them onto their own side of the map so they can just herd and kill them with a more ferocity. And after a very slow early game, we're having an explosion of action with Angel coming in.
Icon's in trouble. Gold card gonna land. Icon forced to back away, but Angel goes golden. There's the culling as well, as we're gonna have action all the time with nothing for the first 15 minutes, and now it's everything. That's a great explosive cast to try and disengage, but Sword Art's dragged back into this. Grey health has been popped. They look for the pop blossom as well. They're gonna jump straight onto the Pike, who dashes away, but it doesn't matter because SMLZ is the first one to catch up the fight. Aatrox is trying to do it. He gets one, he gets two, they get three, and it's gonna be OMG taking the fight. Double kill, potentially a triple, as OMG's Curse is able to clean up house.
Oh, dodges out, last auto attack. Is that the quad?
Secures it. That is the triple. But on the back end, Maple makes it a little bit better. It's a 4 for 3, slightly in favor of OMG.
And no one was looking at Curse as he is able to get multiple Qs onto the 4-man of Suning. They thought they were chasing OMG, having the tail behind between their legs, forcing them down the mid lane, and then Curse just walks back in after the World's Ender. And I'm really surprised that Suning kind of over-chased for that one.
Curse is healing up quite a lot, and that's going to be SMLZ. Does Curse go for this? They have got the Pike coming in. There he is. They're going to have the Devour available. Devour has been used. SMLZ spits himself back out, though. They feel like they can take this. It's a 3v3. Curse backs himself away. Now 5-0-2. This Aatrox is massive.
I really want to see a replay of that last team fight as Curse chops down.
I don't think you're going to get to.
Yeah, there's just another Drake fight right along the way. Kills are coming. It's late, but it always comes in the LPL.
Only flash available for either side is going to be onto Curse's Aatrox, who did go back, picked himself up a fair bit of items. As we look at them here, that is a lot of items for a 20-minute Aatrox.
Yeah, and so far I think the problem with Suning is that they haven't been able to find any catches with Angel's Gate and Destiny. It's just been pop in, and then 5 members of OMG are there in them. So the Suning comp advantage has not really worked out. Maple has only found single targets with the Pop Blossom.
Here we go. Dragon has been started as a mountain. Both sides would like this because they haven't got the quickest Baron takes overall. So we just prodding, pressing, looking to see what they can do with this. Dragon down to about half HP. GLP has been used. Curse has been spotted out on a ward. He will get Tangle Barbed up. There is SMLZ getting hit. Culling comes out as well. OMG just trying to pressure back. It's a full 5v5 coming in now, and after nothing for so long, both these teams just want to fight. Dragon down to about 2,000, about 1,500. Do they look for the burst? It's actually Lucian who picks that one up. They're not able to get it. There is the Cataclysm coming in now as well, as World is in a lot of trouble. That's a great, fantastic Pop Blossom, but SMLZ falls off on the back side. They just haven't got the damage, and it's going to be all for one and one for none. As OMG clean up the house, there's a double kill for the Pike. OMG looking super strong in game one.
And this game has completely snowballed out of control for Suning, for OMG. That was a great start to the team fight. I actually thought that they were going to get it with the triple Pop Blossom there, but everyone just falls so fast in the face of Curse and his Aatrox.
It is a huge swing of gold, a huge swing of power, and a huge swing of momentum for OMG as they look to try and take this Baron. The Ezreal two-shot barrage is very early.
Good dodge, good dodge.
Good dodge, but unfortunately for the side of SN, they're not able to get anything else, and OMG picked themselves up a Baron, a Dragon, a load of kills, and a load of money.
We waited a long time, but 17 kills in 6 minutes, and I think the Blood Gods are satisfied with this one.
I was gonna say, they kind of, I think that my prayers were called out, because this actually looks like a great engage coming out from Maple.
Yeah,
not Maple, Maple, excuse me.
It looked like such a strong start to the fight, but just the damage from OMG was far higher, and the backline couldn't really get through World 6. You can see here, Icon with such a good snipe onto SMLZ.
Threading the needle.
He pops right in as Suning are trying to close down on the engage, so Maple gets no follow-up. Despite the great play, Icon cancels it all out.
Unfortunately for the side of Suning Gaming, they are now in a pretty dire situation. 9,000 gold behind. Baron buff still ticking fairly healthily on the side of OMG. You're going to need a pretty good start, and that's how you almost get it. Good little move there to keep the Pike away, and that's going to dissuade any kind of further push.
Wild cards on the coattail of 5, but not really getting the body on him. So OMG are able to continue this push And this is probably the hardest snowball that we've seen happen against Suning. Suning love to run these semi-global compositions, but this time they didn't find a single pick.
Only 5 kills to their name. They've only got about 40k gold, not even at this stage in the game. You can see the Ezreal has got the items. The TF has got 2 items as well. They've got potential. But they need a good engage. They need to catch out OMG for, you know, this is very surprising from a team that is arguably already out of, not even arguably, mathematically already out of playoffs and shouldn't really be playing for much other than pride, but they take that pride very seriously.
Of course, OMG, they've had their fair bit of struggles, but finally coming back on with Icon. They had Wolgul sub in for a couple of games, tried out their bot lane, but finally decided that this was going to be the one that they close out the split with. And so far, this is looking much more like an OMG style. I love the aggression and the synergy coming out from the jungle and mid position, something they've been lacking for a while. And we might be seeing a little bit more of that as Icon goes for a massive chunk.
Noticing Zoe is the common denominator between our 2 series so far today. Able to nearly chunk out absolutely everybody and anybody. And I love this from 5, going pure Dustblade into the Hex Drinker. Knows that he's going to be the one making the kills happen. And finishing up those nice, juicy cuts for the rest of his team as SMLZ aggressively goes forward. They have got damage onto Curse, who goes down below half HP. He needs to still be careful. 40 seconds left on this Baron buff. They have yet to break open the base. And they still might have yet to. They have to be very respectful of the Suning pick engage.
SMLZ does have his eyes on Curse, already has the Executioner's Calling, and he did a big chunk of damage to Curse in that defend here.
Oh, 5. Needs to be very careful. Ignite actually did go down.
What OMG have to be careful about is with the composition that Suning is running, if they back 1 by 1, Suning can instantly engage on them. With the Gate and Destiny, they can see who's still left on the map and instantly just close onto it. So I like OMG's idea here. If someone's backing, you know what, we're far enough in the lead. Let's not give Suning any chances. Let's all back at the same time.
Yeah, stay together. Keep numbers up and in safety, relatively. As the next dragon going to be spawning in about 10 seconds. And SMLZ has a lot of damage. Will trade 1 for 1, and I like that as Angel comes in on the Destiny. Not quite sure that was the smartest of moves. As here comes the Cataclysm as well, as we see Curse on the backside, but they see Weiwei trying to keep everybody away. They pick up 2 for 1. Curse just being kited out constantly. They're not going to be able to get the great health though. Curse picks up Tamken's 3 for 1, and OMG may look for the game.
Could be a very early finish right here. Angel trying to overhelp on the rotation. That was always a play that you felt like SMLZ was going to take. You want to try the 1v1 versus me? Okay, I'll stay and try to get the kill. So unfortunate here, but it looks like a very fast finish.
Not going to be able to end the game, but are going to be able to take out an inhibitor and 2 inhibitor turrets. OMG, where was this OMG during the regular split?
I don't know. Look, it took a long time for them to finally get into their groove. Usually the way we saw OMG kind of collapse is that Curse was kind of left on his own. There wasn't enough attention given to him, and even though Icon and the jungler might get a small lead, wasn't able to snowball it to the rest of the map. This time around, very smooth game. SMLZ gets hit by the Skewer, and nothing much he could do after that. Sort out not far enough, not close enough. And Angel, no flash, just is left here to die.
And the thing is, they don't even lose anything if they just lose the Ezreal, because you're getting rid of the Pyke. Your pick potential isn't really there. As I say that, Pyke coming back in, pops down a ward, beautifully done. Nice gold card though, and that's going to be Curse coming in, trying to use the World Ender. They're going to use the Tamken's ultimate as well. They may be able to turn this around, as here comes SMLZ as well. They've got a 3v4, 4v4, 5v4, as Neeko still a ways away. Weiwei trying to come in on top of this as well as World 6 jumps in. They're not even going to need the death from below as they go straight in on top of this. Is a 2 for none trade, but they may be able to get World 6 on the back of this 2 for 1 trade. Here comes the pop. Oh, to 4 people! That could be the deciding moment of this fight. They're able to get so much damage, and it's just going to be Kane left, but there's nothing there for OMG Suning. Where did that come from?
Are you kidding me? Suning get the turnaround, down 9,000 gold. A almost near-death experience from Maple as he goes in on less than 300 HP, gets the Pop Blossom, locks the entire team down, and SMLZ with the kiting potential finally goes in to finish off that one. This was an insane play, an insane turnaround. Not a single team fight won before this, but Suning come back with a roar.
They get the damage down onto the Curse. You can see now they've got the Tamkens. Your safety is gone, but your kind of front line of engaging is already tanked out. You can't really go forward with this. And this Sword Art, he goes in as Sword Art. I think they kind of got baited
He
by...
still had full health there.
I was going to say, he baited all of us. I thought he only had like 200 HP, but SMLZ just kiting so beautifully in that fight overall, going full blue build Ezreal right now. And this game is not over. It's still an 8,000 gold lead or 7,000 gold lead, but OMG, they're going to think twice next time they fight.
Yeah, there was a couple things that did go right for Suning right there. Even though Weiwei fell down, he at least got his ultimate across most of the members on OMG, taking them low. And then Ezreal, already with the Immortal Reminders complete, was able to prevent Curse from then healing back up during the fight.
Here we go. Baron is up and available for either side if they really want to go. It Sleepy Trouble Bubble is going to land. That's an interesting animation. As the Tongue Lash comes out, he goes into Sleepy Trouble Bubble stage. World 6 backing away, going to go over the Baron pit to keep himself alive. 5 is there. They've popped the thing. They know that the Aatrox isn't here just yet. Just going to go towards that mid lane.
But didn't you know that catfish can sleep with their tongues out?
Really? Is that a fact?
No, I just made that one up.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
To be true.
Are you willing to stand up in a court of law and say that under oath?
Please no. Please don't take me to court.
But Suning stalling this game out. 31 minutes just over. They've got themselves a 7,000 gold deficit, but Weiwei is sitting off onto the back side. Baron has yet to be started. They have no vision of it as of yet. No real concrete setup for them either. Flashes are available for certain members on both sides, or rather will be for World 6 that comes in. They know it's not being done there. They just have the True Shot Barrage, and they also have a Far Side Trinket if they want to try and go for it as well.
OMG playing this one super safe. They know that Curse doesn't have the teleport, so he doesn't go for just the full inhibitor take right here. Instead, grouping with the rest of the team as soon as he sees Maple there. So this one's going to drag on for a while. I feel like OMG need the teleport back onto Aatrox for the full 4-1 to really commence. But they're still very much in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I completely agree. But you got to think that SMLZ, if you can do it once, you can do it twice. OMG are going to be very, very wary of that. The scaling that is on top of this Ezreal and Neeko is pretty damn big. Yes, you've got the Zoe, but your Lucian isn't as scaling. Has only got the 2 crit items, no IE as of yet. Had to go the Quicksilver Sash, like you mentioned earlier, for the safety. Baron has been started. They're going to use the True Shot Barrage to scout this one out. They're going to be able to jump potentially onto Icon, who gets taken down below half HP. Now they know that Icon is nowhere near the rest of his team. Lucian has to come in. They have to back away from the Baron.
Yeah, there's a really good force from Angel's side. He knows that Icon needs to swerve off on his own, so it does force OMG into this dilemma. It's like, oh, are we going to continue to do this Baron where we get pincered, or are we going to try and help Icon? They back off in the end. Just be safe, and Suning do have position over the Drake, but I don't think this is a good time to venture forward.
Have to wait and see. It's actually going to be Curse the one to start this one up. Solo that one out. They know it's being done. He has to get himself out now. They're slapped on the butt there for last little bit of damage from the Dragon. And I like that awareness from the side of Suning Gaming, realizing that they're not going for the Baron. They're posturing over the mid lane. Oh, Sword Art has been caught, forced to flash away. He is the safety for SMLZ, but Kane, Redemption comes out, hits absolutely nothing. So that Redemption was from the Zoe, so she hasn't got that in the back pocket at the moment. Here we go. Baron has been popped and has been started.
So fast.
So damn fast. They've got that Mountain Drake that's down to about 3,000 HP, 2,000 HP. They will be able to break this one down pretty damn easily, as it was SMLZ who gets hit by the Trouble Bubble. And now Curse found himself a flank position. Tangle Barb does not land. They're going to greed for this turret just a little bit, and now they back away. Side of Suning so very, very wary that they know that this Aatrox could be here.
We have to remember that this is an 80 Twisted Fate, so not the best of wave clear. OMG should have a good time forcing these outer towers at the very least.
Inhibitors respawn, Mountain Drake goes down. And OMG looking to try and take this victory.
A very clean one by OMG standards. Only that one team fight going awry for them. But their next moves are crystal clear. You have the TP onto Curse, so he can solo split push the bottom lane while the rest of the team converges on this red side.
No way. Trying to keep Maple safe. He flashes. They're going to try and keep him away. That's Maple already down a summoner.
Right now, OMG has to play a fairly careful game right here. Even if there's no back wards for Suning, they can still do a full engage with Abyssal Voyage and Destiny. So OMG need to be very careful as they play this 4-1.
Sword Art, no flash, locked up, locked out. There is the ultimates committed to him, and he goes down. SMLZ gets jumped on immediately by Kane, but it's a 1 for none. Baron buff still on. They've got the split push as well with Aatrox.
Yeah, really good find for them. So Suning at least are going to lose this bot side tower. 30 seconds. They're probably going to lose the inhibitor tower as well here.
That will be the last inhibitor turret yet to fall. It is almost certainly going to drop right now. As you see Weiwei coming in here with SMLZ. They're going to try and see if they can defend the inhibitors. This is do or die now for Suning in this first game. They do land the hook there onto SMLZ, who takes a lot of damage in return. Ooh, Icon needs to be so careful. You can see they're split. They haven't got Sword Art. Oh, but SMLZ, he's only on a little bit of HP, but he has to back away. He does heal up quite a bit. There's all 3 inhibitors falling. Baron buff still available for a minute 20. OMG, do they look for the end? Do they play it safe? It looks like they're going to try and go for the end.
Yeah, they have everything they need right here, and as long as Icon doesn't fall down, they should have plenty of targets to just poke here. SMLZ, of course, he doesn't have a lot of that magic resistance, as we've been seeing going for the Iceborne Gauntlet. Doesn't have any of the cleanses as well, so he's also very vulnerable.
Oh, see Maple gets caught, flashing away. Oh, nearly goes down, but there's the first Nexus turret going down, followed by the next. Still no one yet to fall. As I say that, good little Zonias, but it's only going to delay the inevitable. As I say that, SMLZ is down. There's the pop cross, and they trade the pipe for the Ezreal. They try and go back onto this fight, but TF is the one that falls next. It's going to be OMG taking this fight. OMG taking game 1.
And what a clean fight. 34 kills in this action after 70 minutes of a truce in a sense, and OMG with their snowball composition are still able to explode across the map. That one was very surprising given the start that we were seeing. And I have to say, it really did come down to that first force. After Curse got rolling, 5-0 and 2 start, it seemed like it didn't matter what outplay Suning could do. Curse was still able to finish off most of those fights.
Once the Baron went down, it felt like it was just inevitable, like you said. You can see right there at 1740 when the gold swung, First Blood went over, and it was all OMG all the time. Very long game, 37 minutes. And Suning, they got to fight back. They got to get the 2-0 reverse sweep or the 2-1 reverse sweep, because right now they're in a weird limbo where a lot of our playoff teams are going to be trying to catch them, and they need to start pushing themselves toward 8 and 9.
OMG is a must-win. If you're dropping games to teams that are already eliminated from playoff contention, then it feels terrible. It almost proves that you don't deserve it. So I really want to see Suning shape up, but I have to commend how OMG played this game. A couple things that they had full control over was just shutting down Angel. That game was a almost perfect example on how to shut down a Twisted Fate. You invade the jungle early. Yep. You constantly contest them at both buffs. And throughout the entirety of the mid game, they had both sides of the river completely warded up. Angel never found a catch on anyone that entire game. And usually teams are banning away the Twisted Fate from Suning. They're saying, you know what? Tahm Kench plus Twisted Fate, that's a nightmare to deal with. It's so dangerous whenever you're pushing any lane. OMG never found themselves in that position.
Yeah, and I think as well we have got the man of the match. It is going to be Curse on that Aatrox. Did pretty damn well. Big thumb up from him. He's feeling pretty good, and overall can't really complain about it. The Aatrox is showing itself to be an LPL specialty where if you have it, you win. No more.
I wouldn't put it quite that easy.
Yeah,
I would have to say Curse
easy.
It's
that damn easy.
Yeah, Curse is a great Aatrox player in his own right. I feel like he's the most exciting rookie that we have throughout the entire split. So great performance on him. A little bit late in the season, but he does pick up his 4th MVP. Congratulations on that one. And Maple's going to be scratching his head. What do I play in the top lane against a guy like Curse?
Don't let him get Aatrox and try something else, I suppose. And, you know, Suning, again, it was a long game. They had opportunities, but at the end of the day, OMG do take it. And, you know, like we talked about, like this game doesn't have any implications for OMG as such, apart from placement of where and not in playoffs are they. But this could be huge for Suning because we just saw IG drop down. We now see them at 7-4. They need to go 8-4 to keep the pressure on those quarterfinal buys.
Very close. If they drop this one, even if they win everything else, it will still be up in the air, deciding on if they can get into playoffs. So massive implications. And I want to see a little bit more early strength coming from Angel in the jungler position. I feel like if you're going for this one, if you want to unleash the TF, then you almost need a strong jungle to kind of cover for him and create that space for him to be teleporting around the board. We saw this game, there was a Conqueror's Jarvan just holding down Gragas wherever he was on the map. Weiwei never got a clean shot to force those ganks. It was a very nothing early game coming in from them. And also the objective trades were quite surprising from OMG. Like multiple times I felt like OMG actually out-traded Suning when it came to it. You know, first rake, instant transition to top side, take down the Herald as well. So overall it just felt like OMG just played a better game.
Played a better game, and we'll have to wait and see if they can continue that better game streak of 1 win into 2 as we go to a break. We will return. We will have game 2 ready for you guys.